Today, I'm joined by a legend in my eyes. There was no better guest for this week's podcast in my eyes. Ralph of B3 Powerwashing. Welcome to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast.
Mike, welcome. Thank you, sir.
Dude.
Appreciate it. First podcast ever, bro.
I was going to say, dude, I'm so excited to have you on. It really made sense in my eyes that it would be this week after the completion of Macy's.
Nothing better.
Yeah, so I figure, maybe we get a little bit into who you are as a person, and then we'll talk into how this whole Macy's thing came to be.
I mean, me as a person is just, I don't even know. I'm an outgoing kid. I'm just a hustler. I like to work.
So what was it like growing up for you?
Oh, man. I mean, I just had fun, and I don't even know, man. Like, childhood was great. Born in Stanford. Did everything and anything. You get on your bike, you ride around, $20 lasts you all day. Then freaking high school hit. We partied. We did everything and anything. It's before we had cell phones, so, got away with a lot of it. Cameras weren't around, so did a lot of things. But for the most part, I mean, just a regular kid. Love sports, played baseball my whole life, still play softball to this day. And from there, man, I just kept moving.
Yeah.
Worked my whole life. So basically, not that I worked it away. I partied harder than I worked, but, definitely one of those things.
Yeah, and from conversations that we've had, I know that your family had a lot of Stanford love too.
A lot of it. My grandfather was a big part of this town, and started the parades, ran all the events. He was a Marine, so he loved his country more than everybody else who loves this country. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where he was an idol of mine. You know what I mean? I grew up learning from him everything. You know what I mean? Everything and anything that I could pull out of him and get out of him, and stories, sitting there talking to him every night, just stop by on a limb just to go hang out with him. He was my best friend.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about started the parades. Like, do you know, what went into that?
I mean, there was a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know how it all started, but I just know he was just a patriotic person and just wanted to give back to the community, and that's how it all started, with grand marshals and honoring veterans and basically giving back to the community and showing them that, there's more to just what you walk around and do all day long. There's just people to honor and people to, commend for what they did for this country, and what it gives us the ability to walk around and do what we do all day long.
Yeah, and here we are many years later with you also giving back to the community, dude.
Giving back. Let me tell you something. That man is looking down on me and in awe, him and my mother, and I mean, they couldn't be more proud.
And you used, just so people know, because I know this fact, and I think it's just a cool fact, you actually used his pump.
We used his power washer to do the job. So Pop's power washer and my Uncle Michael's clean Macy's.
And I think that's awesome because, I just feel like, obviously on a surface level, all we did was get a building clean on a very, very surface level.
It's just a regular day in my life.
But the energy that just came out of this, not even I could have predicted that, dude.
No, not at all, dude. I mean, everybody in the community, everybody who was following us through the whole story since you first started this in January, you know what I mean, and blew it up through the roof. I mean, everybody was like, oh, let's get it.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. You can support by subscribing on YouTube or downloading on your preferred podcast platform. And definitely go do that because it helps us grow and I can have more incredible guests on the podcast. The Mike Squires and Friends podcast is proudly sponsored by Distrokid. Looking to broaden your musical horizons as an artist? Discover Distrokid. With its smooth and rewarding music distribution platform, Distrokid offers unlimited uploads while ensuring artists retain 100% of their royalties and earnings. Join the community of over 1 million artists who trust Distrokid to distribute their music across major platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, and so many others. Having personally used Distrokid since 2018, I can attest to their superiority amongst distribution services. Collaborating with fellow artists has become effortless, especially with the ability to easily send splits of songs, streamlining the creative process. With the Distrokid app, accessing these benefits is now more convenient than ever. Safely sign up or log in with two-factor authentication, upload releases on the fly, monitor earnings, and withdraw funds from your Distrokid bank. Stay updated on royalties galaxies through push notifications, effortlessly share hyperfollow links, manage account details seamlessly, and track streaming stats from Spotify and Apple. Additionally, explore Mixia for professional-grade mastering, Distrokid for music video distribution, and Instant Share for secure file sharing with collaborators, producers, and more. The Distrokid app is available on both iOS and Android. Download it today from the App Store or Google Play Store to revolutionize your music career. Visit distrokid.com/VIP/Mike Squires to get 30% off your first year membership. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Mike Squires and Friends. You know, it's funny. I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of people think like April was my first attempt at this. Like, granted, it was the first time I made a video, but in January, I made a post on my Facebook just saying like, hey, could someone give me a quote for what Macy would be? And then I went back in March and I was like, can we figure this, like looping back on this, like, is there a thing? And then April, I told you that I had a life-changing opportunity right before that I can't say on camera, but I was feeling so inspired. I walked by the building and that's when I shot that video that domino effect did.
Bro,
everything.
My phone would not stop ringing. And they're like, yo, you got to check this post out. Yo. And I just basically was like, all right. I mean, hey, listen, I know it goes out to bid. I know there's certain things got to happen behind the scenes that people don't understand or know. But, you know, I was like, okay. I reached out to Dose. I was like, yo, give me Mike's number. Let me hit him up. Let me see what's good with this. You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity. It's one of those things where I was like, yo, I'm definitely down, bro. I drive by the building every day, just like you walk by the building every day. Born and raised in Stanford. I mean, everyone said that it was cleaned in 2017. I can't even remember it being clean.
That's pretty much the group consensus too.
Everyone's like, I've never seen it. Like all the comments that have been coming in where people are like, yo, 35 years, 40 years, 50 years I've been here. I've never seen it clean. And I'm like, I've never seen it clean either. So it's one of those things. And today was actually the first day. Today was the first day that I drove by and actually saw it clean.
Let's go,
like,
dude.
Since I've cleaned it. I haven't driven by or anything and actually took a loop around the building today, came back around and looked at it and was like, damn.
What was that feeling like, knowing that you were the guy who got it done?
It was basically like I cleaned Macy's.
It's an insane feeling, dude.
Boom. Like, I mean, I don't get excited after I clean stuff because it's my work. You know what I mean? Some people are like, you're an artist. Some people are like, you know, you just clean things. And I'm like, well, listen, like, it's more than that. We all watch those videos of people power washing, how satisfying it is. Like, when you're behind the gun and you're doing it, man, it's just, you're bringing something back to life. You know what I mean? And it's just, to me, it was an honor. You know what I mean? To me, it was also another job, you know, so I have to be a boss in that sense of it, especially when I got guys working. You know, there was a lot of screaming. There was a lot of things that obviously weren't on camera because
we make it look good to the public. Let's just say that. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, like, because you know what? Like, there are some things that are issues, but they didn't stay issues for long.
No, we had hiccups. Everyone does. Every job does. You know what I mean? We work through them. I look at my guys and I say, listen, you're going to fail. The best part about failure is you learn from your mistakes and you can correct them and you're going to get better.
Well, let's run through. You know what? Let's just take the people through the process because I would love, because people are always asking me, you know, how this all came together. And I would love to just send them a link to this podcast because I have told this story so many times over the last week.
That's it.
So, you know, I make this post on social media and I'm going back and forth with the mall manager, just like, yo, how do we make it? And he's showing me that he has been going back and forth trying to make this happen, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, then I'm starting to get quotes from people, and one of the quotes I got was from you. So what does it look like on your side of this, dude? You know what I mean? You're sending the quote over.
Basically, you know, I do a quick walk around, I take some measurements, I figure what things are going to cost me, what, you know, time it's going to take, materials, everything in the sense of it. And then basically that's how I come up with my numbers and then basically send it into you. And then that's it. You know, it's a sit around, wait around game. And then pretty much, dude, it's like once you called me back and said you're in, I was like, oh, here we go.
Well, here,
you know,
I'll tell a little bit of like, from my perspective, dude, because, you know, you came in at, like, I basically needed someone to come in at a rate much lower than like what they initially got it,
yeah,
or like paid for it too, because otherwise I just knew it wasn't getting done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way I look at this too, it's like, you know, you got paid, but not enough for what that job was worth. I mean, what was spent, and we had a lot of help. We had a lot of help. So I don't want to
shout out to everybody who did help, because without you guys, I mean, whew.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like this job, like I just need people to make it clear that like no one is walking away from this job with their pockets fat, dude.
I'm not a millionaire yet.
No, yeah, no. But you guys need to.
That's it.
You guys need to book Ralph at a higher rate than usual right now, just so that he can become a millionaire, dude.
That's it. When I give you the price, it's the lowest price I can give you. Just remember that.
But basically, I mean, and I'll say this straight up too, and I'm not saying this to make anybody look bad. I'm just saying it because it's the God honest truth. You know, you came, like the rate that you came in at, can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was the 19,500. Like, and that's basically a hookup rate, because that job is I mean, anybody who looks at a job is not, you know what I mean?
But somebody would have came in, and they probably did come in like 50, 60,000.
And honestly, that's like what that job costs, you know, for the person out there. Like, it's just, it's a big fucking job, you know? So, you know, we get money from the mall, we get money from downtown, and they gave us basically between them, we have 2/3 of the money. We have $13,000.
Yes.
Now, I won't say who was supposed to put up this money, but there was another $6,500 that was supposed to be put up.
That's it.
And that person wasn't going to put up the money.
No.
So I go to you, I give Ralph a call, and I'm like, Ralph, here's honest to God where I'm at right now. I got $13,000 for you. It's way less than what you asked for. And I was like, at this point, the video has 500,000 views though. You know, this thing's starting to get some legs. And I was like, I will do everything in my power to give you $6,500 worth of promo, dude. I will pour my soul and make sure I am screaming B3 Powerwashing from the rooftop.
And it's coming in. Phone won't stop ringing.
Do you remember your response to me, dude?
I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, dude. Let's
do it. This is Stanford helping Stanford. This is what it's about. You know what I mean? It's you give back to your community.
Dude, I called back everybody. Nobody could believe it. Like literally everyone was like, they're like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, this is the community stepping up to try to make something happen, dude. This is what it looks like.
Because I mean, like at the end of the day is the amount of work that nobody saw, that nobody knows about, is what you did behind the scenes to make it all happen, to even bring it to reality. You know, anybody could put a video up saying anything. To actually make it come true, you know what I mean?
I talked to a lot of people I'd never met before because of this, dude.
That's it. How many people beeped the horn at you all day long when we were out there? I mean,
both of us, dude.
It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of just, I don't even know what the words are. You know what I mean?
The response was just,
it's just the
insane.
heart, dude. The heart you give. You know what I mean? Like everybody out there can do something to better themselves, to help their community. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we had haters, bro. You're always going to have haters. You need them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thrive off them. I love reading the comments of people, blah, 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 this and that. And I love hearing other guys being like, oh, how could you do it for that or this or that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, money isn't everything to me.
It bothers me how greedy certain people can be and, you know, hypothetical multi-billion-dollar corporations to shell out a little $6,500. But, you know, again, I'm not going to highlight the negatives. Let's just focus on the positives. But, you know, it is astronomical to believe the lack of help from some of these individuals.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? But when you called me with the number and said this is what they're doing and Stanford was going to take care of it, you know what I mean? And shout out to a few people who also helped behind the scenes as well, who took care of a few things for us. I
don't know who wants to be named and who doesn't want to be named. So like I want to respect people's privacies, but I mean, you know, I'm happy to say that the cops got taken care of for us.
The cops got taken care of. They were
got
great.
The cops donated for a couple days.
Yes, and that was the greatest help because, you know, we need them and everything like that. And you ain't doing road work without them. You know what I mean?
We're also making this happen on the most extreme type of, I mean, what did water cost just in general?
Just in general, about $2,000.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Keep that, so $2,000 right off the top of the 13 right there, just for water.
For water.
You know what I mean? And that doesn't include equipment, and we had a lot of help, thankfully, on the equipment. We had a lot of help from a lot of people,
We did. And it was great because in the sense of it, I like to use Stanford companies, small businesses that are helping small businesses. The water company, Freddie DeLeo Swimming Pools, local Stanford man, small company. You know what I mean? Contract supply, small lift company. They do a lot of rentals and everything, and they're great, and they're part of this community. You know what I mean? So, like, those were the things that I reached out to because it was a Stanford job. Having their names on the job, to me, means more than everything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can go out and use all these big name companies and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, they see a number. You know what I mean? They don't see the advertisement. They don't see the love that you're giving back to your community. You know, and that's what it's all about. You know, this is for the community. That's all it is.
It's the truth, dude. And like, even when I started this, like I knew, you know, people, because even my little Facebook post that I did, like got traction before, but not to the scale that, I mean, dude, this like went absolutely insane, dude. From like, you know.
Bro, one video that you put me in with you, how you do that little collab thing on Instagram and everything like that. I was like, yo, bro, damn, this thing's got 30,000 views.
Bro, we're way past that now,
I was looking
dude.
at videos of like my past and everything like that. And I'm not a social media cat, and I don't like push it or anything like that. But I was like, yeah, my like before all this, I think I was at like maybe 100.
It's crazy, dude. And I'm just grateful that I was able to use my platform for good. And overall, everyone was happy. You know, there obviously were the couple of haters. But you know what? Like, for the people that say, like, oh, you could spend your time and doing something else, like, you got to start somewhere. And this is something that I was able to.
We could. And then, like, a lot of people are talking, oh, the roads and everything like that. Listen, we're Stanford, bro. We're going to pave a road. We're going to rip it up and do road work. And it's going to be the worst road in Stanford. All right?
We're also trying our best as, like, just two guys. You know what I mean? It's not like we have we're literally just two guys.
We're not sitting in an office controlling the town here.
We don't have a lot to say, dude.
You know, so I'm a power washer by trade.
And I'm
you're a
music producer now, Macy's guy by trade, dude.
So basically, yeah.
But so back, I want to keep on the timeline a little bit. So, you know, I get back to everybody and I was like, Ralph's in. You know what I mean? So one of my favorite moments of this whole thing was we shot this drone shot with PJ saying that we're getting started tomorrow. When you guys started the next day, nobody believed it.
Nobody did.
I couldn't believe how little people, they're like, yo, it's actually happening. And I was like, well, yeah. Like, what do you mean? I've been talking about it for 3 weeks. Like, what do you know, like, what do you mean?
We're on it now. Listen, it got done. The lifts were delivered. Water was delivered. The guys were there. The setup was great. Like I said, we had our hiccups. We had our moments. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy. You know?
Well, let's talk a little bit about the process, dude. So first of all, you're getting up on this extremely tall lift, which is terrifying to me. Like, what's that feeling like, you know? And just walk me through like some of the initial feelings when you get to the site on the first day.
So I get to the site on the first day. We set everything up. Contractor rolls in with the lifts. It's excitement. You know what I mean? Like, it's real. You know what I mean? This is about to happen. We're doing this. Like, there's no going back. There's no turning back. And basically, I look at the guys in the morning and I just basically tell them, I'm like, listen, here's the deal. All right? Yeah, act professional, look professional. I'm going to scream at you. I'm going to yell. All right? And I told them point blank, I said, if I have to come down off this lift, I said, everybody's getting fired. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that. I was like, you guys don't understand. Like, this is as much for you guys as it is for my business. You know what I mean? And I mean, everybody looked at me and were like, yo, let's do this. Like, and it's great because my boy Jeff, who helped me out, gets to drive his son by the building and say, your daddy cleaned Macy's. My brother-in-law gets to drive his daughter past the building and says, I cleaned Macy's. My boy John Paul gets to drive by and say, I cleaned Macy's. And for me, right then and there, when they all said that to me, like, it melts your heart, bro. Like, and that's all love. Like, you can't just, I couldn't have been more proud of my guys. Like, come on. Like,
bro, you did a phenomenal job. Dude, I can't, like, I mean, I can believe it because, like, we put a lot of time into, like, putting it together. But, like, you know, sitting back, I view this almost as, like, you ever seen the TV show Survivor?
Yeah, a little bit.
So at the end of the Survivor season, they, like, all get, like, cleaned up and they do, like, an interview kind of like that. That's kind of, like, what we're in right now.
Pretty much. I mean, if we did this right after I was done, I'd be covered in sand right now. My blue hat would still covered with sand, and I'm probably not going to wash it. I'm probably going to frame it because it's like, yeah, this hat was my...
What would you say the job was as intense as you expected or more intense?
I feel like it was A little of both, because at first I was like, damn, I was like, what am I getting myself into, right? I'm like, this is like,
It's not an easy
this
job,
ain't no
dude.
joke. You know what I mean? Like, there's some grime on this building. And like, what people don't understand is like the bottom of the building was a heck of a lot easier to clean than the top. The top of that building for those first 4 blocks down was caked on there. And I mean, shout out to my machines. You know, they did all the work. I was just the one behind the gun, but I was like, man, this is blowing off. And I'm like, this stuff is nasty, dude. Like,
Smacking you back in the face, dude.
oh, man, normally I smell like bleach when I'm done doing jobs. I don't even know what I smelled like after these jobs. And I just went home, took showers, and I was like, all right, we're gonna get up, we're gonna do this again. We're gonna keep going. We're not gonna stop. I mean, and being up on the lift, I was like, I mean, I've been skydiving before. You ever been skydiving before?
No, it's on my list, dude.
Anybody out there right now, I'm gonna tell you straight up, do it. You wanna face your fear? Go skydiving.
Do you think skydiving helped you with the process of going up on that lift?
My whole mind, I was thinking about jumping. Like, if I had a parachute, I would have. But, like, I was only 60 feet off the ground, so that probably wouldn't have been good. But, I mean, I've never been scared of heights. I've been climbing ladders my whole life and everything like that, and running on roofs since I was 3 years old, so it really didn't matter to me. It's just more like once you're up there and you're working, it's like, ooh, okay. You know, you make one little step one way, you're like, ah.
Yeah, no, you're better than me for that, dude. I looked at you up there, and especially on the first day, and I was like, damn, dude. Like, I don't know if I mean, I would. If it came down to it, and there was a reason why I needed to be up there, would have done it.
Listen, we got you up on that lift for what? 5 minutes?
Yeah,
you were like, whoop.
Half the like not even half the.
I was like, man, we ain't even halfway up the building. We weren't even halfway up halfway.
I was happy to be on the lift for that little moment, and I was happy to get off the lift after that moment too, dude.
That's it. It's one of those things where it's like when you get off a plane, you touch the ground, you're like, whoa, okay, we're back down.
Oh yeah, we got the clock ringing, dude. We got the little parrots over there.
Birds are chirping back here.
Birds are chirping back there, dude.
Look at them. Polly want a cracker.
So after you finished the first day, how are you feeling?
First day, I'll be honest with you, I was a little upset, all right, because I was like, I wish we got a lot more done. And that was only just because everybody was kind of getting the feeling. Everybody was like, all right, like, nobody really knew what they were getting into. Nobody was comfortable yet. You know what I mean? Every day was like, you think, oh, you see me get back up on the lift. No, it's like every day is another like, whew, okay, I got to get warmed up. I'm 60 feet in the air. I'm working. You know what I mean? The guys, I'm 20 feet in the air. I'm working. Oh, boy. Like, so everyone you get that, like, moment. You're like, all right. Then you ease into it. Like, the last half an hour of the jobs, bro, we were moving because you're like, all right, I'm comfortable at this point. Like, I could have kept going all night long. If I wanted to, if I ran the 24-hour shift.
Well, that's another thing people don't understand, too. We actually talk about this real quick is like the permitting. You only were allowed to start at 9 to 3 p.m.
9 to 3 p.m.
That's what I'm saying. So you only have that block in a day, and it's like, which it is time, but like for a building that big, like,
there's a lot that goes into it. Like, I mean, I was semi-timing myself a little bit, like on here, where I am. And I mean, I'm 2 of my guys in the sense of being one person just because, yeah, I do it every day. Yeah, I do this and that. And like, my whole feeling on it all is like, boom, I'm like, I'm in it to win it when I work. You know what I mean? Like, I have a mental thing in my head where I'm a perfectionist, like, and time management is your greatest asset because without it, you're lost. Like, if you have no sense of direction of movement and how you want to do things, you're not getting anything accomplished. Like, I don't like walking over my steps twice.
Let's use this as a moment, too, to maybe give some advice. Like, what's some advice that you'd have for, like, a business owner that might be in, like, a similar field to you?
Utilize your time. Know how it's getting used. You know what I mean? Listen to your guys. Take their opinions and make them work. You know what I mean? Like, my guys, basically, I said to them, like, is there an easier way? Always. Is my way right? Never. You know what I mean? You might be able to do something a little different that makes more sense to you and benefits you in the long run towards how we're like accomplishing our day. You know what I mean? And that's all fine and dandy with me. You know what I mean? Because yes, I'm the boss. Yes, I'm the one who's going to tell you how to do it. But like, you also need to learn for yourself and do what's comfortable for yourself. You know what I mean? You can't just take someone's word and then try to do it their way. You know what I mean? Especially if there's an easier way.
Makes sense to me,
I've
dude.
always looked at things and been like, if I ever sit back and I go like this and I'm like, while I'm listening to you talk, and I'll be like, sorry, but I'm not doing it that way. And I'll do it my way. And then I'm done in 5 minutes. And people are like, oh. And I'm like, yeah.
Ruff, I got a question for you. What's some of the best advice that you've ever gotten?
Tomorrow's not promised. Do what you want to do right now in this moment. Because, like I said, you never know what's going to happen.
I want to lean into this a little bit more. I know we were kind of on our Macy's thing, but who told you that? You remember who gave you that advice?
It's just something I read a long time ago, and it just stuck with me. Like, simple as that. I went on a journey 4 years ago to become sober, dropped every little habit bad in my life, and became sober 4 years ago, and turned my whole life around.
What made you want to make that decision?
Just a lot of problems in my life. I was an alcoholic. I was a drug user. I did stupid things, you know what I mean? Made mistakes constantly and couldn't get out of my own way. Had no future, you know what I mean? Was late to work, was a liar, was, you know what I mean? All the things that come with being an alcoholic and being a drug user and things like that. And just woke up one morning. It was actually not even, well, it was the morning because it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was in Atlantic City and was on my last hiatus and just knew I was at the bottom of the hole, at the bottom of the bottom. And I said, that's it. It's done. It's over. Took my last sip of Jack Daniels and that was it. Woke up the next morning, gave myself 24 hours, September 6th, 2019, changed my whole life.
After you made that decision, what was one of the first things that you did?
I basically locked myself in my room and just kept telling myself every day. I never went to rehab or anything like that. I said, it's not for me. If I needed that, then it was like, what am I doing? Because you hear all the stories about, we got boys and shit like that. You go to rehab, you relapse. Go to rehab, you'll relapse. Why am I going to waste $50,000 on going to a rehab
and get
program
stuck into a different cycle that might not work for you?
You know what I mean? Go right back into what I'm doing. Like, I basically locked myself in my room, started working out, just got rid of a lot of bad people in my life, you know what I mean? Like, that were not friends. And I had someone once tell me, like, these people aren't your friends. Like, when are you going to learn? You know what I mean? And it hits you. It's lonely, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you got to use the positives. Like, I've gotten 3 of the biggest things back in my life. I've gotten myself back, I've gotten my time back, and I've gotten a clear head. And I've been able to use all those. You know what I mean? The support I have from my family is major. The support I have from friends who are still my friends and accept me for the new me and who I am and what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I won't change anybody's life, and I'm not trying to. Never. You know what I mean? My phone's always open to help people. You know what I mean? And 6 people is who I've lost trying to help. And it hurts. It sucks to see because, people want it, but, you can't be there 100% of the time for them. Like, it's a decision you need to make. You know what I mean? And it's just a decision I made, and it's benefited me. I would never own this business. I probably wouldn't be here sitting talking to you. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, dude, how does it feel to go from this low that you're telling me about to
the greatest high I've ever been on?
Yeah, dude.
Greatest high I've ever been on, bro.
That makes me feel amazing, dude.
Greatest high I've ever been on.
I'm grateful to be a part of it, dude, in the slightest, dude.
That's it, dude. That's it. You there's no better feeling. No better feeling. You know what I mean? I wake up every day and I'm like, let's get it. Let's get it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it is.
And how's it feel to be front page of the paper, dude?
Front page of the paper, dude. My grandfather's looking down at me fucking.
And there's got to be and you probably feel proud of yourself, dude. It's because you can show yourself.
B3 was started, and I was like, I'm just a guy power washing houses and patios and decks and this and that because I love doing what I do.
Yeah, when did you start B3?
3 years ago.
So give me a little.
3 years ago was just I was working with my father. He's a carpenter by trade, and we're banging out decks and this and that and everything he does. And I'm just like, I was trying to find something. I did landscaping for 20 years, and got out of that. I worked for a scrapyard for my boys for a while, turned myself around a little bit, and then just kind of fell off, like not knowing what I wanted to do in life, not knowing what I wanted to wake up to every morning.
And I think a lot of people deal with that, though.
You do, but we all have a choice. You know what I mean? Just because you're in a dead-end job or you think you're stuck, you're not. You're not. You know what I mean? Like, if you talk about, oh, well, I was on Indeed and I saw this job pop up, and don't be scared of it. You have to be scared, but don't be scared of it. That's the best part about it. When it's the scariest, that's when you jump. You know what I mean? And we've all heard that from movie quotes and stupid fucking cheesy lines and shit like that. But like, you have to. You know what I mean? I would have never done this, like, or thought I would have been doing this unless I said, yo, I'm going full bore. Full bore. That's it. There was no holding back. It's 100% or nothing. Like, and I jumped into it. You know what I mean? I was just a kid. I went to Lowe's. I bought a power washer, went on Amazon, started buying all these different things, and said to myself, okay, well, you know, now we got to make the phone ring. You know what I mean? And it rang.
Do you remember one of your first clients you got?
One of my first clients was, who was it? It's a good question. I got a bad memory, but I don't know.
Yeah, just or any of the early jobs.
The earliest jobs, I mean, was like my grandparents' house, then a few of my friends' houses. Then it led into like family members telling family members and being like, oh, he did my house, came out beautiful, hire him. And a lot of it was word of mouth. It was just
word of mouth is the biggest thing with
exchanges like
business.
that. And then I know a lot of people in the trade, so they knew people. A lot of people in landscaping, so they like their customers' houses. Then it all started like that, and then boom, it was one neighbor told another neighbor told another neighbor, and everything in that sense. Like, I mean, what really got it started and like brought back the whole clip of it was I did an ex-girlfriend's house like 6 years ago, and my boss, shout out to you for giving me the day off to go do the house, and I was like, well, this is so enjoyable. And I didn't stop. I literally worked from like 9 o'clock in the morning till like 7 o'clock at night, dude. It was like pitch black, and I was like, I got to do this stone wall. Then you see this, you're like, I
know that house is beautiful, though.
And it's still fucking kicking over there, dude. You know what I mean? But it was fun. It was just, it's satisfying. Like, and it was enjoyable. Like, for the first time, like, I enjoyed something.
Also being your own boss, too.
That's the greatest part about it, dude. I call him up. I'm like, yo, Dick, fuck you. I'm not coming into work today because I'm going to play golf. Yeah. Or I look at my phone and I'm like, oh, that day? Yeah, sure, I can do that. You know what I mean?
No, it's 1,000%.
What's my boss going to fire me?
Dude, it's crazy though too. I didn't like, you know, I'm learning a lot about you even right now in the moment because like we've obviously spoken, went back and forth during this entire process, but we had a mission at hand, dude.
Task at hand, bro. Had to get done.
Yeah, so done. You know,
I told everyone 3 days. Took me 4, 4.5, but we got it done.
Dude, listen, and there was just a lot of hiccups that like we don't have to get into, but like, you know, we handled them. We handled them like champs to the point where nobody like really noticed.
Look it in the face and say, good. How are you going to overcome this? Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And it all worked out in the end.
Do you have any advice for tackling like issues or problems that, you know, things that happen in life? Because life sometimes.
Don't stress.
I think that's great advice.
Like I said, dude, your greatest lesson is your failure. That's it. Simple as that. Your greatest lesson is your failure. It's the only way you're going to learn. You can fail 100 times, and on that 101th time, you're going to get it right because you need it. You need failure. How many times have you done something and been like, damn, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay.
Yeah, all the time, dude.
You know what I mean? And that's in every aspect of life. Doesn't matter what you do. You really have to fail.
You really just got to get like,
that's it.
As quick as you can get back up from the failure is really what matters. You know,
the best part about it.
Keep
you know
it pushing.
What I mean? Like, especially when you're on the job site and you're in the moment, it's like, okay, shit, my machine went down. I said, okay, boom, go get the backup. Okay, then the backup went down. And you're like, well, use what we got. You know what I mean? Don't stop working. You know, like my uncle's machine was the greatest machine I had on the job, and that thing's older than me. You know what I mean? And it frickin' murdered through everything that we needed it to do.
Yeah.
You know, pumps are losing pressure, this and that, lines are clogged. I mean, you can't stress. We had a sit-down conversation 2 days before we started the job, went through everything with everybody. We checked, this is how the pumps are working. These generators are running these pumps. This generator's running that pump. If this pump fails, I got another pump. Like, everybody knew what everything was. You know, I had to scream at the guys a little bit. Like, yeah, there was a couple of moments where I was like, oh, you got to calm down. Calm down.
Dude, I didn't even notice. And I was out there a good amount, and I didn't notice it. I was waiting for some real Gordon Ramsay moments, dude.
Oh, man, they were up there, but I was 60 feet in the air, so you really weren't listening to it that much then. So
it's hard to hear over the power
then
washers,
it's the phone
too.
calls where I calm down. So I have this thing where I can get very loud and then go right back into being calm. And that's only because, like, calm, cool, and collective, dude. Like, there's no reason to yell. You know what I mean? Bosses who yell at their employees and scream and shout, like, that's your failure, bro. That's your failure that you have to yell at somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you should never have to yell at anybody. You know what I mean? And I mean, I got yelled at my whole life because I always got in trouble, but whatever. And I always used to laugh at it. And like, that's why I said I'd never be able to go into like service or something like that because like I would just laugh. Like everybody yelled at me. But like at the end of the day, dude, like, okay, pick yourself up, clean off, put a smile on your face. There's no reason to be upset, and just go on. Like, that's it. You have enough time to fix anything. Then go back to it, and, you know, we don't have a lot of time. So basically, I mean, we just ran. We ran. And them boys, let me tell you something. They did a hell of a job.
Oh, your team is incredible,
I
dude.
couldn't be more proud of them. And I told them every day how much I appreciate you guys and how proud I am of you guys, because without them, they don't make the company look good. You know what I mean? Like, if it was just me up there doing it alone, I'd still be out there working right now. We wouldn't be talking here today. You know what I mean? Maybe a month. You know what I mean? 'Cause let me tell you something. We got around Broad Street and looking down Gray Rock. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of building, bro. That's a lot of building.
It was, dude, and I'm sure it was slightly intimidating, dude.
It is. It is. Like, you don't understand, like, it all looks fun and dandy in the videos and the time lapses and things like that. And then, like, once you're there and you're on it, you're like, whoa, okay. Like, that whole game plan that we had, out the window. You're like, I'm making it up as I go now. And we did it. You know what I mean? It takes a little while. What tips you're using, what pressure you're using, what's working the best, you know, how to clean one block. Like, if I do it this way, I don't have to worry about too much, like, rinsing off at the end or cleaning this up. You know what I mean? Thank God it rained 2 days, because I was like, all right, good. The building's getting washed off. You know, we're going to get a little more rain, so that's a good thing too. You know what I mean? It'll keep cleaning itself as it goes on. Do I wish I got to use chemical on the building? Yeah, because in longevity period of it, it would have lasted long.
Oh, well, that's another thing too. And I think people are understanding that, like, we were balling on a budget. You know what I mean? Like, if we had all the money and resources in the world, like, we would have tackled this differently. But we literally did what we could do for, like, the bare. No one, literally, I promise you and I guarantee you, and you could vouch for this, there is not another company that is going to, like, it was a, I don't want to say it's a passion project, but it borderlined a passion project.
It became that, yeah. I mean, a lot of companies out there who are bigger than me, you know what I mean? I'm not a huge company, nor do I want to be a huge company. You know what I mean? I love working by myself, for myself. It's great. You know what I mean? But, like, yeah, you get a company that comes in there with like 17 guys and bangs it out in a day. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't know how many people were on it the last time they did it, you know, with 2 lifts going up and down all day long. But, like, you know, you guys we're all in the business, so everyone gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like,
it's a better story in my eyes, though, of you single-handedly going to the upper rim on a lift, doing the entire like, just so you guys know, like, on the upper side, it was just Ralph. You know what I mean? Like, you were the one, like, your guys were getting on the lower part too, but the scary high up was
getting all the way up there was tough. And I was yelling at my guys because I know their lifts can go higher, and I'm like, get up there, and they're like, oh, it's scary. I'm like, yeah, it's scary. You're telling me. You know what I mean? I'm 60 feet in the air, bro. Like, come on, get off me. You know, but listen, as long as everyone was comfortable and safety was the biggest factor for them, you know what I mean? They have families to go home to, just like all of us. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, you know where I want to bring it to, dude? I want to bring it to, you know, Landmark, you know, finishing up that side of the building. What's the moment feel like when you get it done finally?
When we did that last brick and I drew another B3 on there with PJ filming it.
Yeah.
It was just a weight off your shoulders, that sigh of relief that this is finally finished. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, hard work pays off. Hard work pays off. You know what I mean? Commitment, dedication, and just your will to do something. It finally just, we sat back and I was like, whoo. You know what I mean? Like, bam. Like, it's a celebration. Everything. Celebration. Like, we did it. You know what I mean? I looked at you. We did it. You said we did it.
We did do it, dude.
And it got done. And it was done. As much work as I put into it, you put into it. You know what I mean?
Trying to make things happen behind the scenes. But I mean, dude, like, you physically cleaned the building, and that's like the thing, dude. You know what I mean? That was you, dude.
That was it.
Happy to connect some dots, but it's kind of like the egg and the light. You know what I mean? The egg doesn't hatch without the light, so you need both. You need the egg and the light,
That's
dude.
right. That's right. You were the light. I was the egg. You hatched me to come clean Macy's.
And there we are, dude.
And here we are today, sitting here talking about it, and we're going to be able to talk about this forever.
Dude, and it's the thing is too, and like another thing that we could talk about, it's a little nerve-wracking too, because when you get into a project this big, at the end of the day, you know, in this particular instance, it was both of our names on it. You know what I mean? So if the project doesn't get done, if it like it makes us look bad, you know what I mean? We look like
there was a
dweebs.
failure, something bad happened, and it wasn't able to work out. Yeah, we would have looked a little.
But we made it happen, dude. But I think people understand that we're just two guys. You know what I mean? Like, who just want to see it happen, and grateful we were able to pull it off. But
producer and a power washer, bro.
Yeah, that's all we need, dude. But yeah, no, and I think opportunities are like starting to arise already, dude. I know that you've been booked out.
They are. My phone's ringing. DMs are coming in. I mean, people that I've never met before are reaching out. And I mean, just the thanks, the gratitude that people have been given, the shout outs. I mean, it's more than anyone could ask. Like I said, I'm not a social media kid. I don't like praise it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things. Like, B3's out there. B3's out there now.
It's crazy.
People know.
Yeah, that's been a whole element of this too, where it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm happy. Like, listen, I just wanted to do a good thing, and I'm happy that it was well received. But like, you know, in my head, I'm like, is this like just for now thing, or like, bro? Because the reception has been.
It's just the beginning, Mike. It's just the beginning.
I know, dude, and I'm already.
People are coming out with buildings left and right. Listen, I might not take on anything bigger than, like, higher than Macy's, because listen, when you got to get up there, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I don't know if you're not scared of heights, just working up in those conditions, like, I don't know how some of them guys do it, man. Like, there's, like, yeah, we had a 60, 70 foot lift on the job. Like, there's people that go up in like 120, 300 fucking feet lifts, and I'm like,
couldn't
you're
be
out of
me.
your mind, bro.
Couldn't be me.
You're out of your mind. Like, when people stretch them lifts to the limit, you're bugging.
I'd have to have like a backup like suction cup suit that I'd stick to the window or something, dog. Like,
depends, dude. You'd be like, oof.
I can't even stomach the idea.
No.
It
Like,
has no
I've been
interest in
watching
me.
lift videos now, and I'm like, how the hell do guys do that? Like, I think the longest stretching lift's like 300 feet.
No, thank you.
I'm like, you're bugging. No way. No way.
Yeah, we'll try to keep you on the ground, dude. We'll get you good paying gigs on the ground, dude.
Like, I like working with my wands and everything and getting up 24 feet, and I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? If I got to tippy toe it, I will, but, you know.
I think it's a good moment. Like, if people wanted to book you, like, what's the best way for people to book you?
Reach out, 253-2532. Call, text, whatever you want. Social media, it's B3 Powerwashing, LLC on Instagram. DM me. You know what I mean? I respond right away. And boom, we schedule a little quick time to come by, do a quick walk around, basically, you know, walk you through the property, piece it out. I don't like to give you just one big number, so then you're like, whoa. I like to give you a price for everything so you know how the breakdown is. Basically, you know, if you want just this done, you pick and choose. It's your money. It's your property. I treat every home like it's my own. So when I give you the price, even if that one little thing wasn't included, I go off and do it anyway, because I don't like you being like, well, he was here, why didn't he do that? Or why didn't I have him do that? I just do it because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, my reputation's on the line with your house, and the only thing I can ask from you is just spread the word on, pass it to a neighbor, pass it to a family member or friend. That's it, man. I'm just cleaning one house at a time.
And also, you guys get the added bonus of saying, hey, I got the guy who cleaned Macy's at my house.
That's it. You know what I mean? We'll even have Mike Squires pop up for a little promo on your house.
You let me know, dude. I'll see what I can do, but I'll slide over.
To all the real estate agents that have been hitting me up, for their properties to get clean. Listen, me and Mike Squires coming by. You know what I mean?
Pop in.
We'll get that house sold for you.
If it means you getting more work, I will pop out, dude.
That's it.
I'll pop out. Ralph, listen, if you guys are trying to get in contact with me, Ralph is the guy to hit me up through, dude.
Either one of us, you know what I mean? Mike's going to start booking me jobs too.
I'm trying to actually, dude. Like, I mean, what's incredible that other people might not know because of this whole experience is that, I've been able to connect with the city on like a greater scale too, where it's like, I'm just meeting with people who actually have a say on what happens with the city.
Yeah.
And it gets me excited to try to take on more projects and not only take on more projects, but really listen to what the public has to say because people will ask me questions and then I'll be like, well, don't let me make the decision. Why don't I just literally ask the public what they want to see and have them have a say because they're the one who's going to be utilizing it.
We the people, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, it's your community just as much as it's ours. And that's why, like I said earlier in this cast, I mean, bro, it's Stanford helping Stanford. Like, that's it. It's only going to benefit us. I had kids who run, I forget what their Instagram is or what they call themselves. I'm sorry, but Scalzi skaters, I think they are, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? For the skate park over there. And the kid reached out to me. He goes, yo, how do I get the pit cleaned? You know what I mean? It's just, there's graffiti. Some of it's good. It's like the profanity side of it, though, like that you don't want to see because they got a lot of young kids that they're trying to bring out, show them the ropes and everything like that, and get the kids back involved too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he reached out to me. I'm like, listen, you got to call the city. You got to do this. Mike Squires got his little in with the city, though. Scalzi Park might be the next project we go after. I'm going to clean it up and let some real artists come in there and do it up right.
I definitely know the artist too, dude.
That's the thing,
It just gets me excited too, and like, I'm up for the job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking to be like I don't want to be a part of the Connecticut government.
Squires for mayor.
Nah, listen. I've seen it.
People want it.
And I appreciate it. I'm grateful. That people look at it. But at the end of the day, I'm a guy who just helped facilitate clean a building. But my love for Stanford is there. So I understand why it could make sense. But I also am just happy to do it. I don't need a title. I also think there probably are other people that are more qualified.
I don't need a title either, bro. I was comfortable behind the scenes not being shown. You know what I mean?
No, we had to get Ralph a B3 Powerwashing.
I'm over here in the Advocate online. I'm in the Advocate front page of the paper.
It's crazy,
all over
dude.
Hey Stanford, dude. I would have never imagined any of this. You kidding me?
It's so sick, dude. And I'm just really grateful for how it was received. I'm glad that we got it done and we pulled it off. That's the scariest part of this all. You know what I mean?
That was the biggest thing of it all too, was getting it done. Actually getting it done. Ralph, and that's it. We gave the people what they wanted.
I got to know. I'm going to bring this to the end zone, but I want to know if you had one message to the world, like one thing you want to be remembered for, what would it be?
If I didn't put a smile on your face, I didn't do my job.
I like that,
Simple as that. Simple as that.
Well, Ralph.
That's it.
I want to thank you for coming on the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. It had to happen, dude. There was no world where listen, dude, I have people that have been hitting me for months to come on the podcast. And I was like, you got to understand, Ralph's got to cut the line this week.
That's it. Listen, now y'all can have your turn.
Well, Ralph, thank you for coming on the podcast.
I appreciate it, Mike. Anytime,
thank you for cleaning
man.
Macy's.
You're welcome. To everyone out there, you're welcome. Listen, it's just another day.
And from my understanding, I'll put this out there. I might look like an idiot if it doesn't happen, but I am going to put it out there. July 17th, there's something fun happening, and I can't say anything about it yet. And if you never hear about it again, that means it didn't happen. But I'm confident enough that I think it will happen.
Put it in your calendars. Put it in your mind.
Put it in your calendars because it won't be the last that you see of us.
That's it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And Ralph, I know you gave out your number. If people want to connect with you on like Instagram, what's your handle again?
It's B3 Powerwashing LLC.
Nice, dude.
Instagram. At B3 Powerwashing.
Yeah, make sure you go follow this guy too.
Follow me, hit me up. I try to post every job, you know what I mean, before and afters. Mike's getting me into doing time lapses for you guys, so
I'm telling you,
start
it'll
up
go off,
again.
dude.
And that's it, man. You know what I mean? I'm cleaning one house at a time, bro. That's it. Simple as that.
Well, let's go, dude. Thank you for coming on, dude.
Thank you.
Let's go, dude.
Appreciate it, all right? Everyone out there, stay safe. Be good.